Hi everyone, Subaki here with another video. This video I wanted to talk about finding out when you're pregnant. When you get the news or from the doctor or from the little pregnancy test, everyone gets excited and just wants to tell the whole world. Honestly, from my own personal experience, I really feel like you should wait. Wait for at least 3 months because you're your most vulnerable, you're your most sensitive during the first 3 months, and just to protect yourself and your loved ones, more yourself than anything, just keep it to yourself. Keep your blessing to yourself, because once you tell people, everyone gets all excited and people start buying things and all beforehand, and you never know what might happen. In worst case scenario, you'll have to call back every single person that you told just to tell them that, yeah, that's not necessarily the case anymore. Now, the title of this video is The Meaning of Your, Better Yet, My. Due to the fact that everyone wants to tell their entire family, their partner's family that, we're having a baby, everything is so wonderful, just remember, everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own advice. Asked for or not, you will get your fair share of advice and opinions and suggestions on what you should do during your pregnancy. I want you to remember that it's your pregnancy. Say to yourself, this is my pregnancy, my baby. This is a time that is perfectly fine to be selfish and to only think of yourself, because it's not just you. It's you and another person. A person that when this is all over and you give birth, you're responsible for. Now, you can nicely say, I really don't need the advice. Or you can take the advice and take each piece of information with a grain of salt. It's your decision. Just don't let everyone overwhelm you with everything that they tell you, because every single person who has had a baby, who has known someone who had a baby, or read any article on anything, heard some article on the news, you never know. They'll always have something to tell you about what you're going to go through. And guess what? No one knows what you're going to go through. People may give you advice on every single thing in the book, and you may not experience any of it. Now, I'm not saying don't educate yourself, don't take the advice, but I mean, some people just don't understand that not all of it's necessary. You don't need every single piece of information. They don't need to tell you about their experience. And honestly, I feel that it's inappropriate unless asked. Let people come to you, because they're honestly only going to take advice from the people that they feel 100% comfortable with. Giving birth and the suggestions that you take on what you're planning to do, because honestly, as soon as you find out, every question will be asked. What are you planning on feeding the baby? How do you plan on going about childbirth? Do you want to get an epidural? Do you want to have drugs of any kind? Do you want to have an at-home birth? Do you want to have a water birth? Are you planning on breastfeeding? Are you planning on formula feeding? Are you planning on half and half? When honestly, all you've gotten through is, oh my God, I'm pregnant. You haven't even gotten past that initial shock when you're being berated with a mountain of questions that you honestly don't know the answer to, and you honestly probably won't know the answer until you actually have your baby. It's perfectly fine to have a plan, but just remember, it's not in your hands anymore. You never know what's going to happen. So plans are nice, but don't be too attached to your plans, because you may be thrown a curveball in the middle of everything and just might have to take everything left. Also, don't let family members and friends of family members bully you into anything that you don't want to do. They may look at it as they're just helping, but at this point, you honestly can feel overwhelmed with all the questions and books and what you shouldn't do. And sometimes you just need a person to confide in. There's so many things out about what you shouldn't do with your baby that's different from what they were doing a year or two ago. Information changes when it comes to kids every single 5 minutes, and something that they say was perfectly fine 5 minutes ago is completely out of the question, because this could happen and that could happen. Go on what you feel is right. Go on what you feel is the best. Or if you really don't know, ask your doctor. That's what they're there for. And if you don't feel that you can go to your doctor, then maybe you need a new doctor. Because I had a doctor in the beginning that I honestly felt I didn't get any information on. I got no information about my pregnancy that I should have had. And as soon as I changed my doctor, it was a completely different situation. She sat down and gave me the most attention I ever felt all throughout my pregnancy. And I appreciated it so much. That's all for now. Also, I want to do the tip of the week. The tip of the week. When it comes to burping your baby, gas will always build up no matter how much you burp your child, no matter how much they pass gas. You have to make sure that you are burping them. Try to burp them at least 2 to 3 times each feeding, because that gas will build up and they will be screaming at the top of their lungs all night. So to relieve that pressure, to relieve that pain that they feel in their stomach, my advice, you pat, you rub, and you readjust. The patting will get the gas moving. The rubbing will get the gas moving. And if they're still not burping, readjust their body, turn them, lean them over, just readjust, because that might actually be the movement that they need to get that gas to come out. You always want to avoid colic, because that can honestly be a very bad experience for you and your child. So, I'll see you again next week. Love you guys. Bye.